Hi, I'm Tanya, and I'm the whole food plant-based enthusiast. So I wanted to share with you guys some of the really important items to have stocked in your pantry at all times or in your fridge. So we're a family of six. We have four kids who are eating this way to different degrees. We have a 16-year-old who isn't fully excited, I guess you should say, about whole food plant based eating. But we have a 5, 4, and almost 3-year old who are too young to really know any different. So there's some things that they really liked before that they had to have. So we just make sure that we have those stocked in a healthier alternative for them to have. Some stuff we took out completely, obviously, because it's just not good for them, for any of them, even our 16-year-old. But we've tried to make changes that will make everybody happy. So some of the things that I feel are really important to have in your pantry so you can cook almost any meal are here on my counter. I'll go through all of them, but I think that these are some of the really important things to have on hand. So what we have here, let's start with ground flax. Ground flax is extremely healthy for you. You can use it as an egg substitute. Flax and a couple tablespoon of flaxseed to 3 tablespoons of water. Mix it up, and anytime you have eggs in a recipe, you can use the flaxseed instead. As I mentioned, we have little kids, so they love jam sandwiches. Most jams out there have a ton of processed ingredients, a lot of preservatives, and very little actual fruit. So we buy this brand. It's GMO free, which is really important for our family. And it has no preservatives, no added sugars. So it's basically organic fruits. Done. And you can get it in a bunch of different flavors. This one's a berry. We get strawberry. We can get raspberry. All of them are available. They are slightly more expensive, but we don't eat them as often as we used to, and the kids love them. So another thing is almond butter. We do like almond butter, and we're a peanut-free house. Our 16-year-old has an anaphylactic reaction to peanuts, so we're completely peanut-free. This almond butter is peanut-free. It's made in a complete peanut-free factory. And I don't know if you guys can see that, but the ingredients are roasted almonds. There's one ingredient in it. Amazing. So that's a real important thing to have in your house. You can use it in your baking. You can use it in recipes. A lot of recipes will call for almond butters. Another really important ingredient to have is liquid soy seasoning. If you're American, this would probably be called Bragg's liquid amino acid. Same thing, just different name. Another really important item, dates. I bake with a lot of dates. The granola I make for my husband and my kids calls for dates for the sugar. A lot of baking calls for the dates. They're really healthy. They're good for you. They are high in sugar, so you want to be aware of that, okay? Another really important ingredient, you can make it yourself or buy it. If you do buy it, make sure you buy unsweetened, all natural applesauce, sorry. I use that for baking. I also use that for the kids for snacks and stuff for school. It's a healthy alternative to giving them yogurt and sugary snacks. Having lots of quinoa or other grains, rice, bulgur, quinoa, having this stuff on hand so you don't get tired of having the same thing, but have a variety of grains. We buy big bags of our grains, so we have them, and then it's less expensive when you buy them in a bigger package. Again, we buy bigger packages. Sliced almonds, not just almonds, but different nuts. If you have them on hand, a lot of recipes call for them, so it'll make it easier. We have the sliced almonds because I do make homemade granola for my husband. He loves it for his breakfast. Nutritional yeast. Nutritional yeast is a must-have. If you don't think you like it, you just need to try it. You can use nutritional yeast in any recipe that calls for cheese. It becomes, you even get that, the stringiness if you put enough in it when you add it to recipes. It's got a nutty, cheesy flavor, and it is absolutely amazing. So buy that, have it on hand. You can put it on pizzas, pastas, rice, quinoa dishes. When you make your big bowls, you can add it on top. Really important to have. Oh, I almost forgot. Let me grab it out of the pantry. Having a good hot sauce is important too, but please read your ingredients. We had other hot sauce in the house that we thought was good for us. And then when I started reading it, I saw that it had sugar and it had preservatives and it had all sorts of crazy stuff that we had no idea about. So when you buy ingredients that you think are good, make sure you do read them and know what's in it. So this is one that we found that was pretty good. It doesn't really have a lot other than peppers, vinegar, water, and garlic salt. It does have a little bit, garlic powder. It does have a little bit of salt, but overall, it's not too bad. Sorry, don't mean to make anyone dizzy. This is really important too. So to have some, make sure you have a big bag of oats. You can use it for your breakfast cereal, make oatmeal. You can use it for baking. You can blend up the oats to make oat flour. So having lots of oatmeal on hand is really important too. Now, cashews, a big bag of cashews. We use cashews in a lot of recipes, usually recipes that would make a cream sauce. I find I'm using cashews. There's other things that you can use them in as well. And they also taste good if you grab a couple just for snacking. Not too many because, again, nuts are pretty high in fat and other stuff. But once in a while for a snack, it's okay. Another thing, again, we live in Canada, so we don't have access to a lot of whole food, plant-based, processed foods that don't have oil, don't have sugar, don't have dairy, don't have all that stuff. So I had a really hard time finding breads and other items that we could have. So at first I was making all our own breads, which is nice to do, but it does get time consuming. So I was fortunate enough to find a few stores that do carry whole food, plant-based breads. So this brand I love. It's stone crafted or stone milled slow crafted bakehouse. It is an amazing bread. They have 3 or 4 different varieties or flavors. I buy this particular one at Costco, and when we go, because we don't go to Costco very often, I'll buy 2 weeks worth at a time and just freeze it. Because there is nothing in it, they do suggest you keep it in your fridge or freeze it. So that way it doesn't go bad, which is nice. That means there's no preservatives. Bonus. So you have your breads, you have your oatmeal, you have some nuts, you have your nutritional yeast, you have your dates, Bragg's liquid soy, which we already said, your applesauce. Oh, you want to have variety of different beans. So whether you're buying canned or whether you're buying bags of beans that you have to soak and cook, make sure you have a variety of beans. At the beginning of the week, I try to cook 2 different styles of beans. I'll base them around the recipes and what they might call for, but I like to just have them in the fridge so we can make up a bowl with some quinoa and different things. So have a good variety so you don't get tired. And don't be scared to try new things. So spend $2 on a bean you've never tried, soak it overnight, cook it, taste it. If you don't like it, it's $2. We waste all sorts of money when we were eating burgers and french fries and pizzas and all sorts of stuff. So don't be scared to experiment. And when you like something, make sure you have it stocked in the house. The other thing is I like to have crushed tomatoes on hand, diced tomatoes on hand in cans, so that way I can make sauces, salsas, spaghettis, basically anything. If I have crushed tomatoes or diced tomatoes, I can just go and make anything. So I think that's pretty much my pantry items that are must have, must carry if you want to be successful at your whole food plant-based living. Have a great day, and thanks for listening.